Just to recap real quick again about these while loops. The reason why operations are happening the way they are is that, remember, when you're doing an operation in the same line, you're executing the code at the same time. So if we did A equals B and then we did B equals A plus B, then we would have a different set of sequences. But here, because of the way we wrote this operation, A comma B equals B comma A plus B, this is telling the code to execute all this all at once. So it's not getting the updates to A and B as it does the operation in the same iteration loop. Rather, they're happening afterwards. So that's why we have one multiple times. So only by the third iteration has it updated to the point where it can then effectively change what B value is. So that effectively means that we are telling it to do operations at the same time without taking the updates that we had given it initially. So if we told A equals B, that will not take effect, what that new B value is, until the following iteration in terms of affecting that print statement that we have in that while loop. Now let's go to another set of loops, or another type of loop, the for loop. The for loop is probably among the more common ones you would see. So for is basically a way to simply iterate over, say, a list usually, or a container of some sorts. So sometimes you don't necessarily have lists or containers. So here we're going to just give it a range of values. So range from, say, or let's first, give it a range of 1 to 10, or to 10. Okay, so I in range 10. We want to then print I, and then change what the value of I is. So it should print I so long as this range of 10. So it should now, no, there's no condition, so it'll keep going until it hits the end of the range. So let's go ahead and run this real quick. And so you'll see it says 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So what's happening here is basically I is actually being overwritten, right? So it says for I in range 10. So I is being constantly redefined every time you go into the for loop. So even though we're telling it I equals 5, that is true at the very end of the line of code in that for statement. However, that I is being overwritten as it goes back to the beginning of the loop in the for statement. So even though we say I equals 5, that value is actually not true when you go back to the beginning.